Hello, I'm Dr. Harold Langley.
I'm 87 years old, and I've spent my entire life practicing family medicine. Over the decades, I've had the privilege of walking alongside people through their toughest days, hearing their concerns, seeing their struggles, and learning deeply about what truly supports healing. And what I've come to believe more than ever is this: the closer we align our bodies with nature, the better we tend to feel. Now, I know some folks might raise an eyebrow at that. Come on, doc, they'll say, you really think fruits and vegetables can treat real health problems?
But I've seen it firsthand.
What our bodies are often missing isn't another pill, it's real, nourishing food. Natural, living foods that restore what's been lost.
Insomnia, constipation, skin issues, digestive trouble. These aren't rare complaints.
I've heard them for years, day in and day out. And in so many cases, there was one simple change that made all the difference: the food they ate. Do you start your mornings with a handful of pills? If you do, I want to gently encourage you to keep listening. Small shifts in what you eat can lead to real changes in how you feel. Now, when you picture an 87-year-old doctor, maybe you imagine someone leaning on a cane or moving slowly through the day. But every morning at 7 a.m., I open the doors to my clinic myself, and I greet my patients with more energy than some of the younger staff. After more than 50 years in practice, one question keeps lingering in my mind. Why are so many people on the same medications for decades, yet still struggling with the same issues? Just today, an 80-year-old woman came in with aching knees. And I gently told her, you know, there might be something better than another round of pills. Let's look at what you're eating.
At first, she was puzzled.
But after I explained, she smiled and said, "All right, doctor, I'll try it." I wasn't always like this. Earlier in my career, I believed medicine was the solution to almost everything. Someone came in with a complaint, and my job was to write the right prescription. But something changed for me in my mid-70s. I started having trouble sleeping, so I turned to sleeping pills. My digestion was a mess. I took antacids. My knees ached, so I relied on painkillers.
Sound familiar?
Even as a doctor, I was falling into that same cycle, one medication leading to another. But despite all that, I was feeling worse.
Evoke ab foggy, sluggish, without appetite. Work became harder.
And each time I handed out another prescription, a little voice in my head asked, is this really helping? Is this how we're meant to live? It was especially disheartening to see patients in their 70s and 80s on medications for 10 or 20 years, with no real progress. And I was slowly becoming one of them. When I turned 75, my health hit a low point. I went to see a specialist, and he said something that shook me. "Dr. Langley, you might be taking too many medications. Maybe it's time to cut back." That same day, something remarkable happened. A woman I hadn't seen in years came to my clinic. She was 83 from a rural town, and she looked radiant. I remembered how she used to suffer. Tired all the time, chronic pain, always on multiple medications. I asked her, "What are you taking these days?" She laughed and said, "Doctor, I don't take anything anymore. I just eat the vegetables I grow in my garden." I couldn't believe it. She'd been on medicine for high blood pressure, diabetes, and indigestion. "And your blood pressure?" I asked. "It's normal now," she said, "since I started eating my greens and carrots daily." Another friend of hers, 90 years old and still running her farm, told her the same thing: "I don't take pills. I just eat from my land." That night, I dusted off my old medical books. I dove into the history of how our ancestors stayed healthy without modern drugs. And what I found amazed me. They didn't have our medications, yet many lived strong, healthy lives.
Their secret? Real, whole foods.
I rediscovered an old truth: food can be medicine. And medicine can be food. So I started making changes. I cut back on my pills and filled my plate with fresh, natural ingredients. Within a few weeks, I noticed the difference.
My sleep improved.
My digestion smoothed out. And the pain in my knees began to ease. 6 months later, I felt like a different person. My mornings were energized, my skin looked better, and work felt easier. That's why I'm here, to share these simple yet powerful tools with you. Let's begin with something you might already have in your fridge: lettuce. Most people see it as just a salad green, but lettuce actually has natural sedative properties. It contains a compound called lacticarium, which has calming effects on the brain. For people who can't sleep well, this leafy green can be a game changer. Take Maria, a 72-year-old patient of mine. For over 15 years, she struggled to sleep, relying on sleeping pills that left her groggy and forgetful. I suggested she try eating raw lettuce every day. Within a week, she was falling asleep faster. Within 3 weeks, she had stopped taking pills entirely, and now sleeps 7 hours a night. To get the benefits, eat 20 raw lettuce leaves a day, split between morning and lunchtime. You can use them in a wrap or a salad, but avoid mixing them with meat or heating them, as cooking destroys the helpful compounds. Just olive oil and lemon juice are enough. If you run cold or have a sensitive stomach, pair it with a little ginger or garlic. Pregnant women should avoid large amounts due to its sedative effects. But for most adults, it's a natural way to reclaim restful sleep. Now, let's talk about carrots. They're not just good for your eyes, they're a powerful aid for skin, digestion, and overall immunity. Jim, age 68, had blurry vision, eye strain, and frequent constipation. Doctors couldn't find anything wrong. But after drinking fresh carrot juice daily, things began to shift. In 2 weeks, his digestion improved. In 2 months, his eye discomfort eased significantly. Then there's Susan, 74. Her skin had become rough and dry with age. I recommended carrot juice, and she even used the leftover pulp as a face mask. Her skin became noticeably smoother in a few short weeks. If you try this yourself, keep the peel on your carrots. That's where much of the nutrition lies. Don't dilute the juice too much. And don't add other fruits. 1 carrot a day is plenty. A quick caution: too many carrots can turn your skin slightly yellow. It's harmless, but not pretty. And those with diabetes should monitor their blood sugar carefully, as carrots are sweet.
Next up, apples.
You've probably heard the saying, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Well, there's real wisdom in that, especially for digestive health. Apple skins are packed with pectin, a soluble fiber that improves gut health and eases constipation. Sally, 75, used to have a bowel movement just once a week, and her face was constantly breaking out. After eating 1 apple with the peel every morning on an empty stomach, she was going regularly within a week. A month later, her skin had cleared up beautifully. Fred, 79, was diabetic and afraid to eat fruit.
But he was also constipated.
I had him eat half an apple in the morning and half at night, and his digestion improved without raising his blood sugar much. Grind apples if chewing is hard, but avoid store-bought juice. It's often too sugary and lacks fiber. Drink freshly ground apple with a peel, and drink it right away before the vitamins fade. Let's move on to cabbage. Cabbage is a powerful healer for the stomach. It contains compounds that protect and repair the stomach lining. For anyone dealing with ulcers or gastritis, this vegetable can offer real relief. Peter, 70, had terrible stomach pain for years. He lived on antacids. But after a month of drinking fresh cabbage juice daily, he needed fewer pills, and within 3 months, his pain had nearly disappeared. Michelle, 66, had stress-related stomach pain. At first, she didn't care for the taste of cabbage juice, so I suggested mixing it with a little apple or carrot. That did the trick, and her symptoms eased up soon after. If you try this, use 2 or 3 fresh cabbage leaves, blend them with a bit of water, and drink about half a cup each day, preferably on an empty stomach. Now, let's talk about celery and kale, 2 bitter but powerful plants that have been used like medicine for generations. Celery helps with sleep and high blood pressure. Bob, 65, couldn't tolerate lettuce and struggled with insomnia. But after 2 weeks of nightly celery juice, he was sleeping better and even saw his blood pressure drop. Kale is a strong anti-inflammatory. Stan, 71, had aching joints and was taking daily painkillers. After 3 months of daily kale juice, his joint pain had significantly decreased. To make the bitterness easier to handle, blend either one with 2 apples and a little water. That way, it's palatable and still potent. A word of caution: those with kidney problems should watch out for celery's potassium. And people on blood thinners should be careful with kale due to its vitamin K content. Now, before I go, I want to say something very important. Real food matters more than you think. Many people today are turning to supplements. But not all supplements are safe or effective. Doris, 76, took high doses of synthetic vitamin C and developed rashes and severe itching. John, 82, had stomach issues from fish oil. Emily, 69, took multivitamins for years, but still felt fatigued and bloated. The truth is, natural foods work differently. Carrots don't just contain beta-carotene, they offer dozens of nutrients that interact and support each other. That's something supplements can't replicate. If you want vitamin C, eat citrus or kiwis. For omega-3s, eat walnuts. For calcium, try sesame seeds or small fish. And no, older adults don't need to eat more meat. Hank, 78, insisted on eating meat daily. But it left him constipated and with high cholesterol. After switching to beans and tofu, his digestion improved, and his cholesterol dropped. You might be wondering, isn't it too late to change my diet now? My answer is, absolutely not. Now is the perfect time. A year from today, your body could be in a completely different state, more energized, less dependent on pills, just by changing what you eat today. I've seen it in my own life. When I stopped relying on medication and started trusting natural foods, everything changed. At 87, I'm still here, running my clinic, full of energy. So here's a small thing you can do right now. Go to your kitchen, take out 20 leaves of lettuce, and make a wrap or a salad.
That's it.
That one change can be the start of something bigger. You don't need to change everything at once.
Just begin. Start with lettuce. Add carrots.
Then apples, cabbage, celery, and kale.
Don't rush. Just stay consistent.
Your body will thank you. And I'll be here, cheering you on every step of the way. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe so others can discover this information too. Next time, I'll be sharing the powerful detoxifying benefits of ginger and garlic, and how they naturally help your body clear toxins and restore balance. Until then, stay well and take good care.